A very good afternoon. Welcome to BBC London. I'm Thomas Magill. Heartbroken and scared. The words of some residents living on an East London housing estate where major flaws in their balconies have been discovered by this programme. A BBC London investigation has uncovered how the wrong materials were used by a multinational construction firm, leading to a serious collapse in November on the Gascoigne estate in Barking. Construction giant Bouygues UK say they take safety very seriously, but admit a subcontractor may have deviated from the original design. Guy Lynn has this exclusive investigation.
In November, a balcony park collapsed on a huge affordable housing development in Barking, the Gascoigne estate.
You're scared, your own sitting on your balcony and it'll collapse tomorrow.
I couldn't believe that a balcony, it just fell off.
With fears growing others may go the same way, scaffolding went up to protect scores of other apartments. This is home video of Angelo getting the keys to his new apartment in 2019.
Habitación del nene.
Watch him try out his balcony then. Fast forward 4 years, and now he can't even set foot on it.
Basically, we just can't go further in here.
Why not?
A safety concern. We don't know if it's safe to go on the balcony right now. We've been told not to, and we haven't used it ever since. Scared that we can wake up any day and the balcony has been collapsed, just like the neighbour happened.
If we listen to any noise in the middle of the day, you are scared that something is happening in the balcony, and also it's like you feel more stressed to be inside.
And there were warnings for years of similar problems. Check out other resident pictures of other sagging, nearly collapsing balconies. Amidst the rubble of the near disaster in November, wet wood, which fixed heavy tiles to the steel frame of the balcony and potentially scores of others. We sent it for scientific analysis to test its durability and strength and get the answer to one key question. Should this wood have been used, in your view, in a balcony?
Essentially, no. In terms of the wood itself, it's not a durable one, it shouldn't be outdoors. And in terms of the glue, it's very weak when it gets wet, so it also shouldn't be outdoors. I would be saying that this should be used indoors only.
So how worried would you be to know that that product was being used in balconies?
I think that's quite a big fail on somebody's part.
The Gascoigne estate was built by construction giant Bouygues UK, who received more than £41 million for building it. In response to our investigation, they said safety was their top priority. Remediation was underway, checks had been made, and apologised for the incident. The balconies, they said, had been prefabricated off-site by a subcontractor, and the materials used may not be those that were specified in the design. We take this extremely seriously. It's clear then from the evidence that we've gathered that big questions still need to be answered. Why was more not done? And how many other balconies out there might be affected? Bouygues UK declined to answer both those queries. We showed our evidence to this expert.
Atrocious, unforgivable. It beggars belief how people can build shoddily using the wrong materials. They used internal quality plywood on this building, something you use for building cupboards in your kitchen or your bedroom. We're waiting for another disaster to happen. It may be on a much smaller scale than Grenfell, but deaths and injuries we are going to have.
For the residents, still no word on when their flats will be back to normal.
We're just heartbroken, because you're not expecting something like that for a brand new building to have that kind of quality. Obviously, for the price that you pay, you expect a lot more than to have something built in that just falls apart after 4 or 5 years.
One of the most shocking aspects of this story, these flats were new builds, built for struggling families who say they don't feel safe now every night in their own homes. Guy Lynn, BBC London.
The BBC's discovered disrepairs to a number of hospital buildings in London led to some potentially harmful incidents last year. Sewage leaks, floods and electricity shocks all featured in records obtained under the Freedom of Information request. 5 of the largest 10 backlogs for repairs are in London, including at St Mary's, Charing Cross and Hammersmith hospitals. The government said significant sums had been invested to modernise the NHS. Now, you may recognise this building in central London. It is, of course, the BT Tower. Well, it's been announced today that it's due to be turned into a hotel after being sold for £275 million. Originally opened in 1965, it used to have a revolving restaurant at the top. Now listed, campaigners have welcomed the sale and say they hope the restaurant will be a feature of the new hotel when it reopens. Now, as part of our ongoing series, The 32, this week we are in Harrow, hitching a ride with the Harrow and Wembley Model Railway Society.
My name is Vic Burgess and I'm the chairman of the Harrow and Wembley Society of Model Engineers, and we're based here in Roxbourne Park in Harrow. I joined this society in 1956 when I was 18. That puts me at 80 plus now, I'm afraid. I'm the oldest current member of the society. Railway engines have been the nearest mechanical things we've ever made to a living being. When you see them moving, they almost live, and that seems to be the main fascination. A model railway would be rather like this layout here. A miniature railway, generally speaking, is a larger one, like we've got outside, which people drive behind it. This is one of the club's electric engines. In fact, it was the first engine which we ever bought for the club. It's a Class 10 diesel. And it's getting quite old, but it still performs. When I first joined, we just made our engines for fun. We didn't pull passengers. I've got a 5-inch gauge. I've also got a small traction engine and quite a lot of miniature engines. My other half believes I've got too many. I believe I haven't got enough. This can be rather an expensive hobby. Some of the engines are relatively cheap and people have spent as much as £30,000 on a steam locomotive, which only goes to show the old saying was correct about the difference between men and boys is only the price of their toys.
Now, a statue of England captain Harry Kane has been hidden in storage for years because councillors in North London were unable to find a home for it. Waltham Forest Council wanted to put the sculpture of the footballer on a platform at Chingford Overground Station, but the proposal was rejected following a risk assessment. And that takes us to the weather with Corsa.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, it's been a rather grim day so far with some spells of heavy and persistent rain. This rather grey picture captured by one of our weather watchers in Twickenham. And from the map, you can see still some rain around into the afternoon as well, although it will become lighter and patchier. But it does stay windy with those gusts reaching 40 to 45 miles per hour from the southwest and temperatures reaching 11 to 14 Celsius. But it won't feel mild with the cloud and rain. Now, for this evening, it should be drier for a time. Some clear spells, but more in the way of cloud and some showers arriving in by the end of the night. Temperatures holding up at around 8 to 10 Celsius. The wind's easing for a time, but tomorrow we do have Met Office yellow weather warnings for rain across more northern parts of the region and the strength of the wind across the south, as we are expecting some squally, showery rain arriving in, some heavy bursts, maybe even some thunderstorms in the mix during the day tomorrow. And the winds will be stronger once more. Temperatures a bit cooler by the end of the day, though, around 7 to 9 Celsius. So it does mean we are expecting temperatures to fall back down to the average for the time of year as we look ahead to Friday and the weekend. And we are expecting some dry weather on Friday and Saturday, Sunday too, but there'll also be the risk of some showers as well. Keep up to date with the forecast.
And that's it from me. There's much more on the BBC News app and on BBC Radio London. Lakshmi will be here at 6:30. So until then, from all of the lunchtime team, have a lovely day. Bye-bye.